He had never seen this man before. And yet, when Neville stepped forward and introduced himself, the stranger looked him in the eye and said something that would change the course of his life forever. To understand why, we have to go back to New York City, turn of the 20th century. Neville Goddard was still working in the theater, but the magic had drained away. The Great Depression emptied seats and pockets. When the curtains opened, the applause empty. Between rehearsals, a heavier silence followed him home. For months, he'd been wrestling with spiritual questions about fate, about the mind, about whether life was more than what his eyes could see. A friend noticed, and one evening he said, "There's someone you should hear." It wasn't an event you'd find in the papers. No marquee, no ticket booth. The man's reputation traveled by whispers. His name passed quietly among those who claimed their lives had changed after hearing him. The speaker was an Ethiopian mystic named Abdullah. Some said he knew the Kabbalah better than any rabbi in New York. Others swore he could read a man's soul the moment he walked in. Neville arrived at the dimly lit hall. The air smelled faintly of incense, and the room hummed with the low murmur of those waiting. When Abdullah stepped forward, his presence was magnetic. He spoke of the Bible not as history, but as a map of the human mind. And that night, Neville heard the teaching that would become his life's work. Your imagination is not fiction, it is the creative power of God in you. If you can occupy the state of your wish fulfilled and refuse to mentally leave it, the outer world has no choice but to rearrange itself to match. When the talk ended, Neville stepped forward to introduce himself. Before he could speak, Abdullah fixed him with an unblinking gaze and said, "Neville, you are 6 months late." Neville blinked. "Late? How do you even know my name?" Abdullah's voice was calm. "The brothers told me you were coming, and you are 6 months late." That single exchange began a 5-year apprenticeship. From Abdullah, Neville learned that the world is a mirror reflecting not what you want, but what you are in consciousness. Change yourself inwardly, and reality has no choice but to follow. But still, what did Abdullah mean by 6 months late? Possibility 1. An unseen spiritual order. The brothers, passing messages through dreams and visions. Abdullah had been expecting him, but Neville had delayed. If that's true, then this meeting wasn't chance, it was destiny, set in motion long before Neville entered that hall. Possibility 2. The brothers were real fellow mystics who had spoken of Neville months earlier. Abdullah, with a flair for the dramatic, used those words to make the moment unforgettable. If that's true, it wasn't prophecy at all, but the perfect moment for a teacher to appear. Possibility 3. Pure symbolism. In Kabbalah, brothers can mean higher aspects of the soul. 6 months, half a cycle, could mean Neville had delayed his own awakening. If that's true, the message wasn't about where his body was, but when his spirit finally arrived. Abdullah never explained. And maybe the mystery was the lesson. So now it's your turn. What do you think 6 months late really meant? Was it prophecy, coincidence, or something even stranger? Type your theory in the comments, and let's unravel this mystery together. And if you love exploring hidden stories like this, hit like, subscribe, and turn on the bell so you don't miss the next chapter.